Early Man. It's the newest film from Aardman Studios. Is it any good? Let's find out. Hey, what's up, you guys? FilmFan0599 here again, and today we're going to review Early Man. So Early Man stars Eddie Redmayne, Maisie Williams, and Tom Hiddleston. What this film is basically about, it's about, this guy named Doug. He's a caveman, and, he lives with his tribe and whatever, and when his tribe one day is destroyed, he now has to get back his tribe, his home and stuff like that, to play a game of football against the humans. So what did I think of Early Man? Now, going into Early Man, I was very excited for the film because the studio behind it is Aardman Studios. Aardman Studios has made some great animated movies in the past with stuff like Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit, and most recently, Shaun the Sheep movie. So I was excited to see what they could do with this film. It looked very humorous from the trailers and stuff like that. And I was very excited to see where they would go with this film. And I was disappointed. It's not a bad movie. I want to say that Early Man is a bad film. It's far from it. But at the same time, it's very mediocre, honestly. This comes off, honestly, as just a generic kids movie, honestly, to me. That's all this really came off to me as. And Aardman Studios, usually put out some, great stuff that's, not just for kids, you know what I mean? If you get what I'm trying to say. They try to go with a wide audience. But I felt like this movie, they were just trying to pander to kids with this one, if you know what I mean. And overall, I just felt like this was just kind of generic and really just bland, honestly. It was a very bland and generic animated film, and that's disappointing coming from Aardman Studios, honestly. But I do have positives with the film, and my positives are first being the voice acting. The voice acting is pretty solid in the movie. I thought everyone did a solid job. Eddie Redmayne was really good in the movie. I did enjoy him in the film. He did do a pretty good job in the film. Maisie Williams was really great too. I enjoyed her. Tom Hiddleston steals the entire show. He gets lost into this character, and I thought he was great. He was definitely my favorite element of the entire film. He was very fun to watch, honestly. I did enjoy him in the film. The animation is fantastic. Say what you will about the movie. If you think the animation looks like garbage, then something seriously is wrong with your eyes, because the animation is fantastic here. It's that classic claymation Aardman Studios, animation. And I love that, and it's great, and really, looks really awesome with this film. And I really love the claymation, animation with this film. It's really fantastic in my opinion. It looks fantastic, and it's really great. Definitely that classic Aardman vibe. I love it. And there were some parts that I did think were humorous. There were some parts that did make me laugh, and I was like, okay, that was pretty funny. It's mostly involving Tom Hiddleston's character or the pig. It was mostly involving those two, or Duck. That's all I'm gonna say. Whenever those three appear, it's like they make the movie a lot funnier. Honestly, I did think there were some funny moments here and there in the film. The writing is pretty solid for the most part, I would say. I'll say the writing is pretty solid for the most part. Directing is really good too. It's very well shot, very well edited and stuff like that. So yeah, the directing's really good. I will say the setup was actually pretty good. I did actually like how they set up things for the film. It's just once the actual plot kicks in, that's when I think the movie kind of gets a little bit bland. So yeah, I will say the setup was actually really solid. I really liked it a lot. Now the negatives, because I do unfortunately have some negatives with this film. And my negatives are first being, while I did think the voice acting was pretty solid in the film, the characters themselves, I really didn't necessarily care for. I really didn't care for them, honestly. I thought they were just kind of, not necessarily one-noted, but I thought they were very generic, honestly. They're the generic type of, characters you would see in a kid's film, if you get what I'm trying to say here. I didn't think they were all that interesting of characters. The only character that I really had any entertainment with was Tom Hiddleston's character, because Tom Hiddleston and just the way that his character is was very funny. So that was really the only character that I necessarily had any entertainment with. Or the pig as well, because the pig was pretty good too. So, yeah, I will say that, but for the most part, really, the characters aren't all that interesting, and I thought they were very kind of just whatever, honestly. And same goes with the story, to be honest with you. The story is kind of the same way. The story is very bland and very generic to me. Like, I've seen this a whole bunch of times with kids' movies, and it just feels like the same old thing, honestly, and I really didn't enjoy it all that much. I found it to be pretty boring, honestly, the story with this movie. And here comes another thing. It gets very predictable, honestly. Like, if you've seen this story, you know where this is going. And I was really like, okay, so this is going to go this way, and it's going to go that way, and it went this way, and it went that way. You know, and it was very predictable, honestly. And I've stated many times that I don't like it when movies are like that. I like to, you know, be surprised with things. I don't like to be predictable with things. And there is certainly some really predictable moments in this film that I saw coming, honestly. And that really sucks because I don't like that. So there was some really predictable moments in the film. A lot of the humor isn't that great. Honestly, it comes off as juvenile and just generic kid humor, honestly, and that is really disappointing because, like I said, Aardman Studios knows how to do great humor, but in this film, it just felt very just juvenile and generic, honestly. I didn't really laugh at a lot of the humor that was in this film. The writing can not be that great at points, honestly. Like, the writing can come off very just, at times. And lastly, the movie is honestly very boring. You know, I wouldn't say it's like a drag or anything, but it is very boring considering if you're not really caring for the characters, or if the story is not really all that interesting, it can be boring, honestly. And it really was, to be honest. I just wasn't all that invested in the film. So overall, while I don't think Early Man is a bad film, per se, I don't necessarily think it's, like, terrible or anything. It is mediocre, unfortunately, and, you know, it sucks to say, because I really like Aardman Studios a lot. They made some really great and good movies, and just this one just is probably their weakest film, to be honest with you. I really didn't enjoy Early Man all that much. So it's time for my official grade on Early Man, and my official grade on Early Man is a C+. It's okay at best. It's alright. You know, it's a generic kids movie. That's the best way I could put it, honestly. And, you know, I just really didn't enjoy all that much, with some very kind of with some very generic characters, a generic story, and very, very predictable moments. It just keeps me, honestly, from enjoying this movie. And overall, I really didn't enjoy this film all that much. I found it to be very generic and bland, to be honest with you. So, yeah, Early Man gets a C+. So, if you have seen Early Man, what did you think of it? Please leave it in the comment section below, and I'm FilmFan0599, and we'll see you about later. Peace.